instance, Sadducees, for instance, Umbelazes, for instance, none of whom got any luck from her pulling, yes, and even at mine. Now, as I did not think it worthwhile to contradict his nonsense so far as I was concerned personally, I went off on this latter point. If you show affection as you did towards Marmina today, Zykalai, I pray my spirit that you may cherish none for me, I said. He shook his great head pityingly as he answered, Did you never love a lamb and kill it afterwards when you were hungry, or when it grew into a ram and butted you, or when it drove away your other sheep, so that they fell into the hands of thieves? Now, I am very hungry for the fall of the house of Sanzangakona, and the lamb, Marmina, having grown big, nearly laid me on my back today within the reach of the slayer's spear. Also, she was hunting my sheep, Sadduco, into an evil net whence he could never have escaped. So, somewhat against my will, I was driven to tell the truth of that lamb and her tricks. I dare say, I exclaimed, but, at any rate, she is done with, so what is the use of talking about her? Ah! Macumazon, she is done with, or so you think, though that is a strange saying for a white man who believes in much that we do not know, but at least her work remains, and it has been a great work. Consider now. Umbelazi and most of the princes, and thousands upon thousands of the Zulus, whom I, the Dwand, hate, dead, dead. Marmina's work, Macumazon. Panda's hand grown strengthless with sorrow and his eyes blind with tears. Marmina's work, Macumazon. Setweo, king in all but name, Setweo, who shall bring the house of Sanzangakona to the dust. Marmina's work, Macumazon. Oh! A mighty work! Surely she has lived a great and worthy life, and she died a great and worthy death. And how well she did it! Had you eyes to see her take the poison which I gave her, a good poison, was it not, between her kisses, Macumazon? I believe it was your work, and not hers, I blurted out, ignoring his mocking questions. You pulled the strings, you were the wind that caused the grass to bend till the fire caught it and set the town in flames, the town of your foes. How clever you are, Macumazon! If your wits grow so sharp, one day they will cut your throat, as, indeed, they have nearly done several times already. Yes, yes, I know how to pull strings till the trap falls, and to blow grass until the flame catches it, and how to puff at that flame until it burns the house of kings. And yet this trap would have fallen without me, only then it might have snared other rats, and this grass would have caught fire if I had not blown, only then it might have burnt another house. I did not make these forces, Macumazon, I did but guide them towards a great end, for which the White House, that is, the English, should thank me one day. He brooded a while, then went on, but what need is there to talk to you of these matters, Macumazon, seeing that in a time to come you will have your share in them and see them for yourself. After they are finished, then we will talk. I do not wish to talk of them, I answered. I have said so already. But for what other purpose did you take the trouble to come here? Oh, to bid you farewell for a little while, Macumazon. Also to tell you that Panda, or rather Setwayo, for now Panda is but his voice, since the head must go where the feet carry it, has spared Saduko at the prayer of Nandi and banished him from the land, giving him his cattle and any people who care to go with him to wherever he may choose to live from henceforth. At least, Setwayo says it was at Nandi's prayer, and at mine and yours, but what he means is that, after all that has happened, he thought it wise that Saduko should die of himself. Do you mean that he should kill himself, Zikali? No, no, I mean that his own Elozi, his spirit, should be left to kill him, which it will do in time. You see, Macumazon, Saduko is now living with a ghost, which he calls the ghost of Umbalazi, whom he betrayed. Is that your way of saying he is mad, Zikali? Oh, yes, he lives with a ghost, or the ghost lives in him, or he is mad, call it which you will. The mad have a way of living with ghosts, and ghosts have a way of sharing their food with the mad. Now you understand everything, do you not? Of course I answered, it is as plain as the sun. Oh, did I not say you were clever, Macumazon, you who know where madness ends and ghosts begin, and why they are just the same thing? Well, the sun is no longer plain. Look, it has sunk, and you would be on your road who wish to be far from Nodwengu before morning. You will pass the plain of Endandakazuka, will you not, and cross the Tugela by the drift. Have a look round, Macumazon, and see if you can recognize any old friends. Umbazai, the knave and traitor, for instance, or some of the princes. If so, I should like to send them a message. What? You cannot wait. Well, then, here is a little present for you, some of my own work. Open it when it is light again, Macumazon, it may serve to remind you of the strange little tale of Marmina with the heart of fire. I wonder where she is now. Sometimes, and he rolled his great eyes about him and sniffed at the air like a hound. Farewell till we meet again. Farewell, Macumazon. Oh! If you had only run away with Marmina, how different things might have been today. I jumped up and fled from that terrible old dwarf, whom I verily believe, no, where is the good of my saying what I believe? I fled from him, leaving him seated on the stone in the shadows, and as I fled, out of the darkness behind me there arose the sound of his loud and eerie laughter. Next morning I opened the packet which he had given me, after wondering once or twice whether I should not thrust it down an ant-bear hole as it was. But this, somehow, I could not find the heart to do, though now I wish I had. Inside, cut from the black core of the Umzimbiti wood, with just a little of the white sap left on it to mark the eyes, teeth and nails, was a likeness of Marmina. Of course, it was rudely executed, but it was, or rather is, for I have it still, a wonderfully good portrait of her, for whether Zikali was or was not a wizard, he was certainly a good artist. There she stands, her body a little bent, her arms outstretched, her head held forward with the lips parted, just as though she were about to embrace somebody, and in one of her hands, cut also from the white sap of the Mzimbiti, she grasps a human heart, Sadduco's, I presume, or perhaps Umbalaze's. Nor was this all, for the figure was wrapped in a woman's hair, which I knew at once for that of Marmina, this hair being held in place by the necklace of big blue beads she used to wear about her throat. Some 5 years had gone by, during which many things had happened to me that need not be recorded here, when one day I found myself in a rather remote part of the Umvoti district of Natal, some miles to the east of a mountain called the Elandskopje, whither I had gone to carry out a big deal in mealies, over which, by the way, I lost a good bit of money. That has always been my fate when I plunged into commercial ventures. One night my wagons, which were overloaded with these confounded weevilly mealies, got stuck in the drift of a small tributary of the Tugela that most inopportunely had come down in flood. Just as darkness fell I managed to get them up the bank in the midst of a pelting rain that soaked me to the bone. There seemed to be no prospect of lighting a fire or of obtaining any decent food, so I was about to go to bed supperless when a flash of lightning showed me a large kraal situated upon a hillside about half a mile away, and an idea entered my mind. Who is the headman of that kraal? I asked of one of the Kaffirs who had collected round us in our trouble, as such idle fellows always do. Chizza, Inkusi, answered the man. Chizza. Chizza, I said, for the name seemed familiar to me. Who is Chizza? I don't know, Inkusi. He came from Zululand some years ago with Sadduco the Mad. Then, of course, I remembered at once, and my mind flew back to the night when old Chizza, the brother of Matiwan, Sadduco's father, had cut out the cattle of the Bangu and we had fought the battle in the pass. Oh! I said, is it so? Then lead me to Chizza, and I will give you a Scotchman. That is, a 2-shilling piece, so called because some enterprising emigrant from Scotland passed off a vast number of them among the simple natives of Natal as substitutes for half-crowns. Tempted by this liberal offer, and it was very liberal, because I was anxious to get to Chizza's kraal before its inhabitants went to bed, the meditative Kaffir consented to guide me by a dark and devious path that ran through bush and dripping fields of corn. At length we arrived, for if the kraal was only half a mile away, the path to it covered fully 2 miles. And glad enough was I when we had waded the last stream and found ourselves at its gate. In response to the usual inquiries, conducted amid a chorus of yapping dogs, I was informed that Chizza did not live there, but somewhere else, that he was too old to see anyone, that he had gone to sleep and could not be disturbed, that he was dead and had been buried last week, and so forth. Look here, my friend, I said at last to the fellow who was telling me all these lies, you go to Chizza in his grave and say to him that if he does not come out alive instantly, Macumazan will deal with his cattle as once he dealt with those of Bangu. Impressed with the strangeness of this message, the man departed, and presently, in the dim light of the rain-washed moon, I perceived a little old man running towards me, for Chizza, who was pretty ancient at the beginning of this history, had not been made younger by a severe wound at the Battle of the Tugela and many other troubles. "Macumazahn," he said, "is that really you?" "Why, I heard that you were dead long ago." "Yes, and sacrificed an ox for the welfare of your spirit." "And ate it afterwards." "I'll be bound," I answered. "Oh, it must be you," he went on, "who cannot be deceived, for it is true we ate that ox, combining the sacrifice to your spirit with a feast, for why should anything be wasted when one is poor?" "Yes, yes, it must be you, for who else would come creeping about a man's kraal at night, except the watcher by night? Enter, Macumazahn, and be welcome." So I entered and ate a good meal while we talked over old times. "And now, where is Sadyuko?" I asked suddenly as I lit my pipe. "Sadyuko," he answered, his face changing as he spoke. "Oh, of course he is here. You know I came away with him from Zululand." "Why?" "Well, to tell the truth, because after the part we had played, against my will, Macumazahn, at the Battle of Ndandakazuka, I thought it safer to be away from a country where those who have worn their karosses inside out find many enemies and few friends." "Quite so," I said. "But about Sadyuko?" "Oh, I told you, did I not? He is in the next hut, and dying." "Dying? What of, Chisa?" "I don't know," he answered mysteriously, "but I think he must be bewitched. For a long while, a year or more, he has eaten little and cannot bear to be alone in the dark. Indeed, ever since he left Zululand he has been very strange and moody." Now I remembered what old Zikali had said to me years before to the effect that Sadyuko was living with a ghost which would kill him. "Does he think much about Umbalazi, Chisa?" I asked. "Oh Macumazahn, he thinks of nothing else. The spirit of Umbalazi is in him day and night." "Indeed," I said. "Can I see him?" "I don't know, Macumazahn. I will go and ask the Lady Nandi at once, for, if you can, I believe there is no time to lose." And he left the hut. 10 minutes later he returned with a woman, Nandi the sweet herself, the same quiet, dignified Nandi whom I used to know, only now somewhat worn with trouble and looking older than her years. "Greeting, Macumazahn," she said. "I am pleased to see you, although it is strange, very strange, that you should come here just at this time. Sadyuko is leaving us, on a long journey, Macumazahn." I answered that I had heard so with grief, and wondered whether he would like to see me. "Yes, very much, Macumazahn, only be prepared to find him different from the Sadyuko whom you knew. Be pleased to follow me." So we went out of Chisa's hut, across a courtyard to another large hut, which we entered. It was lit with a good lamp of European make, also a bright fire burned upon the hearth, so that the place was as light as day. At the side of the hut a man lay upon some blankets, watched by a woman. His eyes were covered with his hand, and he was moaning, "Drive him away! Drive him away! Cannot he suffer me to die in peace? Would you drive away your old friend, Macumazahn?" Sadyuko? Asked Nandi very gently. Macumazan, who has come from far to see you. He sat up, and, the blankets falling off him, showed me that he was nothing but a living skeleton. Oh! How changed from that lithe and handsome chief whom I used to know. Moreover, his lips quivered and his eyes were full of terrors. Is it really you, Macumazan? He said in a weak voice. Come, then, and stand quite close to me, so that he may not get between us. And he stretched out his bony hand. I took the hand, it was icy cold. Yes, yes, it is I, Sadyuko, I said in a cheerful voice, and there is no man to get between us, only the Lady Nandi, your wife, and myself are in the hut. She who watched you has gone. Oh, no, Macumazan, there is another in the hut whom you cannot see. There he stands, and he pointed towards the hearth. Look! The spear is through him and his plume lies on the ground. Through whom, Sadyuko? Whom? Why, the Prince Umbalazi, whom I betrayed for Marmina's sake. Why do you talk wind, Sadyuko? I asked. Years ago I saw and love you in Silonti die. Die, Macumazan. We do not die, it is only our flesh that dies. Yes, yes, I have learned that since we parted. Do you not remember his last words? I will haunt you while you live, and when you cease to live, then we shall meet again. Oh! From that hour to this he has haunted me, Macumazan, he and the others, and now we are about to meet as he promised. Then once more he hid his eyes and groaned. He is mad, I whispered to Nandi. Perhaps. Who knows, she answered, shaking her head. Sadyuko uncovered his eyes. Make the thing that burns brighter, he gasped, for I do not perceive him so clearly when it is bright. Oh! Macumazan, he is looking at you and whispering. To whom is he whispering? I see. To Marmina, who also looks at you and smiles. They are talking. Be silent. I must listen. Now, I began to wish that I were out of that hut, for really a little of this uncanny business went a long way. Indeed, I suggested going, but Nandi would not allow it. Stay with me till the end, she muttered. So I had to stay, wondering what Sadyuko heard Umbalazi whispering to Marmina, and on which side of me he saw her standing. He began to wander in his mind. That was a clever pit you dug for Bangu, Macumazan, but you would not take your share of the cattle, so the blood of the Amakoba is not on your head. Ah! What a fight was that which the Amawum made at Endandakazuka. You were with them, you remember, Macumazan, and why was I not at your side? Oh! Then we would have swept away the Ujuchu as the wind sweeps ashes. Why was I not at your side to share the glory? I remember now, because of the daughter of Storm. She betrayed me for Umbalazi, and I betrayed Umbalazi for her, and now he haunts me, whose greatness I brought to the dust, and the Ujuchu wolf, Setweo, curls himself up in his form and grows fat on his food. And, Macumazon, it has all been done in vain, for Marmina hates me. Yes, I can read it in her eyes. She mocks and hates me worse in death than she did in life, and she says that it was not all her fault, because she loves. A look of bewilderment came upon his face, his poor, tormented face. Then suddenly Sadyuko threw his arms wide, and sobbed in an ever-weakening voice, all done in vain. Oh! Marmina, Marmina, and fell back dead. Sadyuko has gone away, said Nandi, as she drew a blanket over his face. But I wonder, she added with a little hysterical smile, oh, how I wonder who it was. The spirit of Marmina told him that she loved Marmina, who was born without a heart. I made no answer, for at that moment I heard a very curious sound, which seemed to me to proceed from somewhere above the hut. Of what did it remind me? Ah! I knew. It was like the sound of the dreadful laughter of Zykalai, opener of roads, Zykalai, the thing that should never have been born. Doubtless, however, it was only the cry of some storm-driven night bird. Or perhaps it was an hyena that laughed, an hyena that scented death. ******* End of the Project Gutenberg ebook Child of Storm ****** Updated editions will replace the previous one, the old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works. By using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works 1.0 By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg. 1.e.1 The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, Any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2 If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3 If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4 Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. 1.e.5 Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. 1.e.6 You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark symbol website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7 Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1. Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2. Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3. Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4. Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5. Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the Foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the Foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark symbol's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark symbol and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116, 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol Electronic Works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.